Hey guys, how's it going? It's Morgan coming to you today from Your Maxco. I wanted to jump on here and do a little bit of a product review, kind of a material review for a leather that I had just gotten off Frog Jelly Leather. They are somewhere I had never really ordered from before, and I just decided to try them out a couple of weeks ago, and I just got some new leathers in. Created probably my third or fourth product with this leather. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys the leather that I got. I'm going to show you what I made with the leather, and then we're going to talk about kind of the pros and cons of the leather itself. Okay, so I'm going to hold this piece up here instead of obviously getting out an entire hide. So this was an oil tan that I picked up from Frog Jelly Leather. It's brown in color, looks brown, came brown, looks just like the pictures that they had posted online. It was a 5 to 6 ounce oil tan. I think it's still available on their website. This was a pretty good leather. I purchased it to not for any specific reason or any specific order, but I purchased it because obviously oil tans are good for making, dot bags, valet trays, more structured bags, things like that, depending on the ounce and weight of the leather. So when I got this in, I really liked it. I'm kind of like on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably at like between a 6 and a 7 on how I feel about this leather. It is really nice. It has really good weight to it. It is nice and structured. The color on it is really nice. It's really consistent all the way through the hide. There were very few markings or blemishes. One thing I will say about this leather is it's not as oily as other oil tans that I previously have bought. A lot of times I will get oil tans from Springfield Leather. I'm a huge fan of distressed. I'm a big fan of not something that's so oily it's going to leave a residue, but that you can actually tell. So this one is my first thought a little on the drier side of some oil tans that I've gotten, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. So here is the leather, just so you guys see that piece. And then I'm going to show you what I made specifically tonight out of this leather. All right, so here is the item that I made. It is just a miniature satchel, miniature crossbody messenger bag, okay? So you can see this whole entire bag. I have an outside external zip pocket that I put on here for the customer that is getting it. And of course, I have my O-rings here on the side with my crossbody strap attached to it through the side panels. And then of course my flap. The one thing I like about this leather, specifically making this bag, is that it is structured. The first complaint that I have is, I think, of my own doing. It's the fact that this bag really, it's not going to sit up on its own, just because I do have a short, it's 2 3/4 cut ultimately, but a 2.5 inch width base on here. So you can see right there how it kind of bows out my design. So this is a me thing. This isn't really it's kind of a combination of a leather issue and a me thing, but it is a really, really, really nice leather. So I'm going to open it up so that you guys can see what I did. So I showed you the side panels in the back, and then of course the back zipper. I did inset a zipper into the top here. So that way, just in case if the customer or the client doesn't want to buckle the bag closed and they just kind of want to flip this over the front, they can do that and still feel safe that the items that they carry inside is secure. So I'm going to unzip it so that you guys can see the inside. I have a pocket on the back here on the back wall, which of course is hidden by the pocket, that is stitched right here on the outside on the back, so that you guys can see that. I have an inside pocket, and then of course it is pretty spacious in there. You're seeing a rivet right down there from the buckle that I put right here on the front. So I made this little messenger bag for a specific client who wanted this. We kind of sketched up the design and figured out what they wanted beforehand. But the one thing I noticed in using this leather, it's not amazing for getting into like tight corners and things like that. And so what I'm going to show you is, you'll notice as I flipped this around, the rivets that I had to put in all 4 corners here. So, start and stop my stitch down here. And then I have rivets set in all 4 corners. Just because my particular sewing machine does not have a freestanding bed or a freestanding arm. It's inlaid into a bed. So I am using a Juki 1541S sewing machine. I love my machine. It really handles through anything I've put it through so far. I know at one point in this bag, back here where the flap, the top of the pocket, and then of course, my 2 layers here, that's 4 layers of 5 to 6 ounce leather. My machine went through it with absolutely no problem. So I love my machine. However, being able to really get down and smush this bag or maneuver it in a way to get all the way into the corner, it's pretty well impossible. So I did have to come in with some rivets just to reinforce these corners for that client, so that way they never have to worry about, you know, an open or exposed corner down there. But the leather overall, I think, is really nice, especially looking at this bag. I think is a really nice looking bag for the leather. Again, just my own personal preference. And I'll show you the strap here. The strap, this bag is going to be for a gentleman, not a lady. So I did just a buckle adjusting strap instead of just standard sliders on here for the crossbody. I think it's a little cooler. I think it gives it something, you know, just a little bit better. But back to the leather. Overall, it's a really nice leather. It's just a little bit dry. So the one thing that I could say for myself is that I would probably come in with a conditioner and condition this leather just to make it a little bit more pliable and feel a little bit better, because it just feels kind of dry and kind of stuck in there. But overall, I think the bag came out wonderful. I think the customer is going to be extremely happy with this. It's just like the picture that we drew out. Of course, you know, when going through the making process of everything, you kind of have to make some decisions. So again, I made the decision to put the antique brass hardware rivets right here in the corners. But I think the client's going to be really happy with it overall. So again, I would say I would rate this leather a 7 out of 10. For being 5 to 6 ounce, it does have good body and good movement to it. I think with a really good conditioning, I think the leather is going to be much better than how I received it. And that's not a knock on frog jelly. It's just to say, I think personally it needs a good deep conditioning to really just kind of soften this up just a little bit, so that this bag will wear wonderfully for, you know, the person who carries it. So this is the bag right here, so you guys can see in full swing what I did and how I did it. And then the leather that I used. If you're in the market for a really good oil tan, I will say the side came probably between 24 and 25 square feet. It was a really big side. It was very symmetrical. And I think I only paid $69 for that side. So for the price that I paid and for as big as it was a really great purchase. And it's something I would definitely order going forward, just knowing that maybe I have to condition the leather once I get done making certain products with it. So this would be a really good leather to use for dot bags, for valet trays, or anything like that, because it's a really nice structured leather. So that is my thing for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to be putting up more videos. If you want to hit the like and share button, I'm going to put up more videos where I'll be explaining different leatherworking techniques or how I make things. You're going to see a lot of different bags. Most of the bags that I make are one of a kind, or as close to one of a kind as I can get. And so we're just going to start putting a lot of videos about leatherworking and being a small business owner and small leather business owner here on the page. So I hope you guys follow along, and I hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you later.